What's up, guys? How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Look at this hat. See the crown? And see my shirt? Bear with me. It'll come together. I have a story. And I want to start a little bit of a series of stories. Things that I feel important that I want to share. So, what is the story? The first one. This has been on my heart for myself for a few days. And it's like a summary of my life. So what is it? Okay, so bear with me, and it has a really good ending. So it's about 5 topics, and I'll get to the point, okay? So I was born in London, and my parents, I want to try to keep this as polite as I can. Mother was a very attractive woman, but very much of a narcissist. My father, a little bit of a narcissist perhaps, but an alcoholic. He had his issues, she probably had her issues, whatever. But I was born into that family. No love. Narcissists don't do that. Narcissists don't love. It's all about them. And manipulation and pressure my whole life. And it wasn't until they both passed away that I finally realized what was actually going on and how I feel today. Okay? So hold that point. I was desperate to get away. So I joined the army. My parents split up. We returned to the UK. And I joined as soon as I could. When I was 17 years old, I was going through the motions of learning this and that. I did my aptitude test, theory tests, all that sort of stuff. Then I went for a medical, and they told me what I could get involved in. And the local regiment was a gunner regiment, which is artillery. And it was also 50 missile, so which is then was Honest John, and then later changed to Lance missile. Lance missile could fire nuclear weapons and also high explosive warheads up to 100 miles. That's 160 kilometers, right? Kind of spooky. This is during the Cold War. So I went there playing soldiers, bored out of my brain. It wasn't my thing. I then changed regiments and then went to 40 field, which is artillery guns. Again, bored out of my brain. But luckily, there was an opportunity for me to get involved with D&M, driving and maintenance instructor, right? So I kept going on these different courses, back to the school, back to many courses I did. And eventually, I was on what they call regimental instructors course. And before the course finished, they came to me and said, normally we don't ask people like this while you're still here on the course. We decide what we want to do, and then we ask later if you want to come back. But you really have an ability to teach. Would you like to come back and be an instructor here? And I said, yes. Well, I didn't tell them, but that was my point. I had a plan. So they talked to records. I went to become a teacher, and I was in the school teaching. And I tell you, the best job I've had in my life. I loved it. And that allowed me to stay in the Army all the way up to 22 years and reach the rank of warrant officer. So that is the badge I have, warrant officer class 2 in the British Army. Absolutely loved it. And the other day I did a search with ChatGPT, and I said, after 22 years, what is a good rank to reach in the British Army? And it said WO2, WO1. Well, in my field, to get to WO1, very difficult. One person had the job, and not everybody can get into that position, but I got to warrant officer 2. Very, very pleased, very, very pleased. So one more little story. The first thing I married was also had a bad childhood, and let's just say she was promiscuous, right? Let's just leave it there. So in the end, I divorced her, and she tried to destroy my life. And it took me a long time to get over it all. But in the end, that's all the stories. Now here we come to the point. And this, I believe, is will help many people. I've been feeling this feeling for a few days now about gratitude. In fact, a few days, probably a couple months, maybe closer to a year. But, you know, we use words to describe feelings, and it's hard to pinpoint what you're trying to say by using words. You know, you're trying to use words to describe an emotion. It's difficult. So for about a year I've been feeling this, but just in the last few days I actually start to feel like I'm a champion. And I'm not asking for sympathy, because if you don't have pain, you don't grow. When you get the pain, you either suffer, become a drug addict, an alcoholic, or, you know, kill yourself or something. But I didn't do any of those. I'm still here. I'm still here, and I'm strong and healthy. I have nothing wrong with me. And I have this feeling of gratitude that I want to share. And you know, somebody could then say, oh, it's okay for you. I have all these problems. It's not okay for me. I work through it the same as anybody else can do it. Am I have a superpower? Maybe I'm just beep stubborn, and I'm determined nobody was going to break me. But here I am at the end. Let me just move a little bit. The sun's in my eyes. Let me move over here. I just feel like a champion. And I just listened to Cat Williams say this. He says, if you've been through all that mess and come out the other side, you are a champion. So if you're a young person watching this, or an older person watching this, male or female, it don't matter. You're not here to be somebody's punch bag. You're here to live your life and be happy. Today, I took Jan for some ice cream. We went to Swenson in Angtong. And I walked in, and there was a table with some young people there, and they had a baby, and the baby was staring at me. You know, that happens a lot. So I smiled back and waved, and the little baby waved back. I don't know how old, you know, 1 or 2, something like that. Mom and Dad laughed, and everybody's happy. To me, that's what life is about now, you know. And then when we left, a granny it's in Thailand. It's Mother's Day on Tuesday, so a lot of elder moms and dads are being taken out by their children to celebrate Mother's Day and spending time together as a family. So there's this elder lady. I don't know how old she was. Maybe 80 something, 85 maybe. Quite old looking, small, frail. But she kept looking at me. So when we left, I went up to her and did the, you know, Thai Swadikab. And at first she was shocked. She like flew her arms up and didn't know what to do. And the rest of her table was kind of laughing at her. And then she smiled at me and said, Swadika back. Oh, Swadika back. And I tapped her on the shoulder and smiled and left. So to me, that is a champion. And to walk around with gratitude, to say, thank you so much. I'm still here. I'm healthy. You know, I have enough money to buy an ice cream, to smile, to be happy, to smile with the little kid, to smile with Granny. That is it. You are a champion if you've worked through this. And you know when I actually started to feel free? I'm going to be 69 this year in November. And it was about... My mother passed away in May this year, and it was when she passed, I finally could say enough and close the door. And I don't have anybody trying to bother me no more. I hope you can, whatever is bothering you, you can get away from it faster. But today, you know, with the little kids and grandma and stuff. That makes me really happy. And happiness is the key. You know, what are we here for? Some people can, you know, look at a situation and think doom and gloom. I don't. I think I see something and I'm looking for happiness and peaceful and kindness and joy, making people, or providing an opportunity for people to smile. So I think I made my point. You are a champion. No matter what you've been through, you are a champion. Kevin feels like a champion because I've been through all that mess. I come out the other side after 22 years of people trying to hold me back, being nasty to me. You know, you can probably hear an American accent and think, how did you get in the British Army? Well, born in London, one parent's American, one parent's British. My uncle said, you'll never amount to nope. Lincolnshire, you'll never amount to nope. You won't get past sergeant, or you won't get sergeant. Well, I passed sergeant, I passed staff sergeant, and got to warrant officer. You won't go no further. Here I am. Happy. So, I achieved my aim. I got to the top of my field in my profession. And I left the Army, got into IT and whatever, and enjoyed my life. Traveled from Florida to the Arctic Ocean. I've been to the Falkland Islands. I've been around the world. Many all over the place, but around the whole globe once, across the Pacific into the US, so it's like all the way around now. It's not about me saying how great I am, it's about saying I can overcome, and you can do it too. Be a champion in your own life. So I'll close there and say thank you for listening, and I've got some funny stories of when I was in the green clothes, Army days, and I want to share them with you, okay? Be a champion. Buckets of blessings, rivers of peace, joy, and kindness, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. See you guys.